Today was draft day in the NHL, and boy, was it exciting. I couldn't watch, but I did get a good idea of what went on. I had my friend seriously giving me a play-by-play. I told her I didn't want anyone taking a breath without me knowing about it. Edmonton picked Taylor Hall first overall, and that is a decision. Although I like Seguin better, I do think that Taylor Hall will definitely impact that team in ways that maybe draft picks of the past couldn't. They did have a good run of things last time when they did pick Sam Gagner, 6 overall, so I do have hopes. This is a young squad, and I think they'll react well to this player. They do still have all their key young players. Everyone from the kid line from back in 07 is still there, with Bobby Nielsen, Sam Gagner, Andrew Cogliano, and their rookie and the cap of the three amigos, Sam and Cogs, is still Tom Gilbert on that squad. Now, there's a little bit of anger I found when 23rd pick Sabres picked, I forget his first name, but his last name was like Pisic or Pisic. I don't even know how to pronounce it. Basically, he's a D-man. He's a few years off, and I'm going to comment and say what that was in the end. But he's a few years off, and they're really kind of irritated with the Sabres and Darcy picking another D-man. I actually went on the Sabres board and first offset addressed everyone saying, dude, we don't need another forward. They want a goal scorer. All these fans, we do want a higher scoring team. I do understand that. However, when you're kind of dealing with someone with this team, you really, when you have that kind of netminder and Ryan Miller in the back, you want to have a very strong defense so Ryan Miller can perform to the way he can and become a Vezina winner like he did 2 nights ago. So I was really actually happy with that decision. Also, in this summer, come July 1st, we are going to probably lose a few D-men, either one or the other, in Tony Ludman and Henrik Tallinder to free agency. I think that we're probably going to lose one of them, if not both, but I can't see with how Tyler Myers has impacted Henrik Tallinder's performance, and that they are such close D partners that we would risk losing Hank so quickly. What actually surprised me was Toronto's behavior in the draft. They were very, very quiet. I was kind of expecting them to get a first round pick, or at least trade for one, and it really did surprise me to see that they had not done that they weren't trying to get that pick. I told my friend I want to see where Cabaret goes. I want to see where he moves, because I was assuming Brian Burke to maybe make that move in exchange for a first-round draft pick. Given that he didn't, I think that Brian Burke knows what he's doing. I was actually really impressed with his steadfastness when it came to his decision on giving away that first-round draft pick in exchange for Phil Kessel early in the season, which made me pull my hair out. If anyone wants to know my reaction to that, you can go on the PJMB blog and see. Oh my god, I had the biggest freak out. Now I know that was actually a really good decision for him, and I was really happy, again, with how steadfast he was in that decision. No regrets at all. He did wonderfully, and if that kind of confidence can give any indication to how the Leafs should perform, I think that you Leafs guys, especially rocking your new jerseys that are all very swank, I think you guys have a good chance and a good run next season. Bruins drafted Tyler Seguin, and really, this is going to be their year. They're going to be top contenders. I think one of the things that made them such kind of a limping facet last season was the fact that they did have a lot of injuries. You could see in the postseason, once that they got Savard back, they became a powerhouse, and at losing, there's no problem with losing to Philly in the second round after the hell that team went through. They're just going to get better over the postseason, and definitely watch them. I might expect them to be active coming up concerning the trade deadline, but I think that they might actually be set with their draft pick and just getting everyone prepped for next year, because it's going to be excellent, fun hockey to watch, guys. I was also kind of impressed with how very active. I'm playing with these weird hockey cards that I bought, by the way. I was really impressed with how active Florida was. Florida made a lot of quick moves and a lot of good trades and got some good picks out of it, taking number 3, Eric Gruberson, I think his name is, or Gruberson. I'm not sure how to pronounce. I'm really bad with pronunciations. Getting that pick, whether or not he's as ready to enter the NHL as maybe Taylor Hall or Tyler Seguin, that is left to be seen. I think that he might actually be pretty quick off in getting into the NHL, but like I said, we'll see how that goes. I am impressed with as many trades as they went. They did make a trade for a few picks. They got Vancouver's pick, and they did get Steve Bernier out of that deal. Steve is awesome. I am a huge Steve Bernier fan. I have a Steve Bernier jersey from when he was playing for the Sabres. I actually got it last season. But I do think that he will be a facet on that team. Steve is physical, he's hard hitter, and he is, wow, I love this guy. He's physical. He's as much physical as he is a goal scorer. I mean, I think he was kind of quiet in Vancouver, but he did get some postseason marks, and I've been watching him a little bit less considering he is on the opposite coast, but he never fails to impress. So really, if this draft is any indication on what to see, it seemed like a pretty mellow draft, and not a lot of people did get really too excited about it. But in the end, I was sitting there screaming my head off the entire time. A lot of people did get good picks, and I'm really excited to see how the next few years play out, because while only a few of them will be NHL ready in this upcoming season, this draft season will slowly be filtering in every person coming up and getting ready to enter the mix, and that's going to be key. There's always going to be someone from this draft period filtering in, bringing a lot more energy and a lot more physicality into the league, and really making the league going to be fun to watch in these next few seasons coming up. Weird fact. Versus actually love this fact. On record, the most Americans were drafted in this draft period. I think it went to 11 Americans, 14 Canadians, and 5... I'm not going to do that math in my head. 5 Europeans were drafted in this draft period, which is pretty, considering how Canada has a habit to kind of dominate these kind of events. It's really interesting to see that there's a lot more hockey coming out of the States as it becomes a more popular sport. There were a lot of actually Californians, versus, if you watch the broadcast, kept talking about how many kids from California, the deck hockey kids, were coming up. And my big thing was a lot of Bostonians getting drafted, getting to see how Hockey East has really impacted the area, and is in the end going to impact the hockey world in general. I just had a conversation about Hockey East earlier in relation to Buffalo hockey. There's no Buffalo hockey, however, there is a lot of good Boston hockey. I gave up Boston for Buffalo because of the Sabres, but if I wanted to see some good college hockey, I definitely would have stayed in the area. So there's a lot of Boston talent in these draft periods, and I think that people are starting to realize that Hockey East is nothing to be messed with. Personally, I can't wait until a few years pass and John Muse gets his draft day, because you know that kid, he's the goaltender for the Boston College Eagles. He's definitely going to make some waves and make some impact. But that's all for me tonight. It's kind of late, and I hope to get this up eventually, sometime late Saturday morning. But tonight was a really good night. Be sure to look out for the PJMB vlog that's going to be coming up with your draft repick, and maybe a little bit more refined clips about it. But I think that no one should really be upset about what happened tonight. This was a good night, and I think that time will tell what's gonna happen this upcoming season and what to expect. Anyway, power forwards, it's late on Friday night, maybe even Saturday morning. This is your favorite DJ, favorite juice box, signing off as PJ the DJ. Check out the blog, check out everything else. I'm really excited for next season. How many days left until October?